Now, people like to think that civil war and a revolution are the same thing, but in fact, they're not. A civil war is neighbors fighting against other neighbors, destroying everything and leaving nothing standing. A revolution is those same people coming together to overthrow a corrupt government and hopefully build a new one afterwards. Now, knowing this, let me ask you a question. If everything around you were to suddenly collapse, which of those two options would you choose to try and save your country? And you got to keep in mind that both of those options destroy, but only one of them leaves something to rebuild from. The choice is yours. And nowadays, you can feel the tension all around you. It's like a balloon ready to explode. People don't just disagree with each other anymore. They're starting to feel like, I don't know, the other side doesn't even have a right to exist anymore. So that makes this whole talk about civil war and revolution a lot more feasible and not just some far-fetched headline from somewhere. It's something that people are really starting to talk about like perhaps it's inevitable. You even got some people out there who are starting to believe that maybe it's already started. And then on the flip side of that, you got other groups out here talking about a revolution, a new American revolution. Like it's this, I don't know, magic reset button. It's going to suddenly fix everything the moment it starts. But people, I can tell you, that's just a fantasy. That's not how any of this works. I can tell you this. Neither one of those paths is clean or easy. One path, it just ends up in chaos and destruction. And the other path, it demands so much real work. I'm not sure that most people are willing to or even able to put that amount of work in. But here's the part that should hit all of us as Americans the hardest. We're not just talking about this taking place in some foreign land anymore or another country. We're talking about all this happening right here at home, right here in America. That should frighten us all, people. And no, too, civil war isn't some fucking video game you put in PlayStation and play. It's neighbors turning against neighbors. I don't know. People are not really stopping to consider that. It's the same guy, right? The guy from down the street who waved at you last week, right? Well, now he's got his gun pointed right at your face. How does it make you feel? And that thought alone should put things into a whole different perspective for you. It's desperate groups of hungry people, homeless, from all over this whole country, just constantly fighting each other over scraps because that's all that'll be left. It's collapsed supply chains and systems that no longer work, and no fire, police, ambulance, no cell phone, and death and destruction beyond anything that we've ever seen in this country before. You see, people, there are no clear winners in the Civil War, only people who lose less. And this isn't just a theory of mine, some shit I made up. This is how countries destroy themselves from within. And we've seen this exact same scenario play out over and over again across this whole world. But people are still out here choosing to fantasize about a civil war, man, like it's some kind of a purge or a magic pill that's somehow gonna wipe the slate clean and solve every problem that we have in this country. That's not how it works, people. You see, when a country doesn't have a recognized leadership anymore, a power vacuum gets formed. And when that power vacuum gets formed, the most ruthless survivors of that civil war, they're all going to rush in and try to fill it. Everybody loves power. And now even former allies, guys who fought side by side in that same civil war, they're now turning on each other. And that's just fueling more conflicts. And just like that, we're right back to where we began. Because we couldn't compromise and everybody wanted power. And we're having another civil war. And make no mistake about it, people. Revolutions are no fucking walk in the park either. It takes strategy and unity and a whole bunch of sacrifice. You don't just wake up and everything is magically better either just because you want to. They take years of rebuilding too, and organizing and cooperation. Even then, it's not guaranteed. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather have that kind of chance than no chance. Because here's the difference. You know, with the Civil War for sure, it's only gonna leave you with two things: survivors and rubble. Whereas with a revolution, you're gonna get some survivors, you're gonna get some rubble, but at least it leaves you with a base to rebuild from. And I don't know about you, I'd rather have a fighting chance than no chance. And we gotta kill this Civil War movie fantasy shit that people out here got going on out here. You know, people are still out here acting like a civil war would be like some movie, like the bad guys versus the good guys. And there would be a hero in the movie and that kind of shit. But I'm gonna tell you, people, in real life, war is a whole hell of a lot more messy than that. It's bloody, very violent, and it's real up close and fucking personal. And remember that this isn't happening somewhere else. We're not watching this on TV happen overseas somewhere. It's happening right in our own backyard, your neighborhood, maybe on your own fucking street. And the people getting hurt won't be some fucking extras in a movie. There'll be people that you know and love, family members and co-workers, and maybe even you. That's why I keep saying we need real change, not the change that comes from a civil war. It's not real change. All a civil war does is swap one fucked up situation for another situation, because in a civil war, you don't learn anything. We haven't learned anything. We haven't learned anything, or we wouldn't have been in a civil war in the first place. We just got mad because we couldn't have our way and we decided to burn every fucking thing down. Real change is different from that. It takes discipline and structure and time, and not just a bunch of fucking unfocused rage. It takes a real willingness to build and compromise, and not just to destroy and say fuck everything. I don't know. We as humans, we always want simple answers to complex problems. We like to believe that in one big fatal swoop, everything is gonna magically fucking get fixed. But I can tell you, people, from being around for many years, conflict doesn't fix people. It simply exposes them, as people have been exposed now. Civil war simply shows you how fragile a country really is. And even revolution, it just shows you how rare unity is. You see, when a society allows division to fester in it for so long, that society is forced to make a choice for its citizens. And those choices that it's forced to make are usually not easy, and they're usually not clean, and they usually don't benefit the citizens very much. So before you go and celebrate either plan, whether it be war or revolution, ask yourself one thing. What is it that you want to come afterward? Knowing that civil war leaves behind destruction and chaos, and a revolution, though destroys some, it at least gives you a fighting chance to rebuild. I just think that most people out here advocating for either one of these haven't ever stopped to just really think about the costs of these actions. But whatever path you choose to take, that choice is going to help decide what gets left behind. Is it ashes, or do we leave behind a foundation to build on? So, people, what will it be? Where do we go from here as a country? Is it civil war or revolution? And what path do you think our country is really already on? And what happens to us if this really does take place? And no two people. This isn't some fucking movie we're watching. This is your real life. But hey, if you have any thoughts or suggestions or anything you'd like to add to this, but by all means, drop them down below and let's talk about it. This is a tough one here, people, but that's what we do here at Man and Man. We have those tough conversations that nobody seems to want to have, but we definitely need to have. And we will continue to have them. But hey, I really want you to think on this and let's get these comments flowing. Let's talk about this. Let's open these lines of communication up. I don't want this to escalate to where it seems to be escalating to. But at any rate, take care of yourself and each other. Kindness, love, respect. You know, like I know, the world really needs a whole lot more of these right now. But hey, I'll catch you guys in the next one.